The Lieber Park Art Fair is something that everyone in the community really looks forward to. And Hetty Lane is here to tell us all about it. And Hetty, that is I love your name, Hetty Lane.
Thank you.
That's a really cool name. Wherever your parents were, they did you right.
Yeah, they did. Thank you.
Well, this is exciting. And this is actually the 57th year of the art fair at Lieber Park.
Yes, it is. 57th year, my fifth year.
Oh, wow. How did it get started 57 years ago?
Well, we our St. Joe Valley Watercolor Society have been the sponsors ever since it started. It was just, like all groups start as a group of friends, and they wanted to bring their art to the community and kind of just hang out, I think, on a really nice weekend every year in June.
Yeah. And this weekend, it's going to be June 15th and 16th.
Correct.
Yes, and that's a Saturday and a Sunday. And is this weather pending or whatever the weather is, this fair is going on?
Rain or shine. I'd like to think I brought good weather. The past few years have been really lovely. Maybe a little hot at times, but rain or shine will be out there. And I'm a little superstitious. I never check the weather until the day before because I don't want to know because we're gonna have to be out there regardless.
That's right. That's a great idea. And actually, people have a really, I think, a special love for Lieber Park in their hearts. How exciting and special is it to have an art fair there?
It is, well, I think the park, especially after the renovations, is just calls for, having large gatherings, and it's just really, really nice. And we do have a great response from our local community every year. Lots of people, I get emails all year long, and it's even in the middle of, dead winter. I have people emailing me, what was that person at booth so and so? I really want to buy something from them later. And so they know that I'm going to respond to them, and they know that our artists are really, time honored people that come back every year, and so are our patrons that attend.
Now you mentioned this is your fifth year.
Yes.
What you got you involved?
I they needed somebody. They needed someone
There you go.
who didn't mind answering the phone and answering emails, and I kind of fell into it. And for the most part, the committees, they've been doing this for so many years that they operate really smoothly, and they don't need my input very often. Sometimes I come in for a tiebreaker. Or I bring new ideas, and I'm just slowly we shift things around and modernize a little bit here and there. But I'm kind of the person who gets to do all the interviews.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm sure there's a lot that goes into it because there are going to be about 80 artists and not just local artists, but artists from all around the United States.
That's true. We have obviously regional artists come all the time, but we have people as far as Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, and even Oregon this year. And yes, we have 80 artists. Many are returning that you'll know and see and love. And we do have quite a few new artists this year. I think we're over a dozen are going to be first time Lieber Park artists. So we're really excited about that. We have a little bit of fresh blood too.
That's nice. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the older, not older, but the old artists or the artists that have been there before, and also some of the new ones that are coming?
Sure. So we have lots of St. Joe Valley watercolor members who I don't know if people are aware, but are not all watercolorists. Anybody can join that art group. And so we have lots of our own members that have booths at the fair. Lots of categories. This year, actually, we do have a new one to add to our, existing friends, a digital art that we didn't have any artists for last year, but we have several this year. But yes, lots of our favorite people are going to be there. I know that we had Joan Tweedale retired a couple years ago, and so she's not going to be there, but I hope that she comes and hangs out with us for a little bit this year. But yeah.
Oh, that's great. And what about some of the new ones that are going to be attending or participating this year?
Well, I don't want to give too much away, so you're gonna have to
Okay.
come and see them. But yeah, 15 new artists. Our jurors had a very difficult time this year going through all of the applications, and lots of hearts were broken, but lots of excitement within our group was stemmed from a lot of the new interest that we got from artists all over the country.
Well, that's wonderful. And then you're also going to have food trucks because you can't have an art fair without food.
That is very true. We are going to have our beloved Rico Suave, CNC Concessions. We have a couple new ones, Jake's Food Truck, LaDonna's Ice Cream, and a flavored popcorn stand from Dennis Castro as well. Yeah.
Very good, very good. And then you'll have a DJ.
Yes, yes, we always have our background music to all the artists. He'll be there, and on Sunday we'll be announcing the show winners and all of the honorable mentions as well.
Oh, that's one. Now, what is the setup take for all of this?
Well, we have been going behind the scenes probably around October, November. Yeah, so it's a long time. We get our applications ready to go out, and our invitations, and our system opens in December, and we get applications all the way through March. After the jury takes a couple of weeks to go through all of the applications, then we send out invitations, and that happens in April. And we start confirming our artists for the year in April. And then once they accept the invitation or decline, then we can plan space planning in the park. And so that'll be happening probably later next week. You might see one or two of us out on the park with our, spray paint and sunglasses on, walking around and numbering the booths.
I'm sure that this must also take a lot of volunteers.
It does. It does. We get most of our volunteers we need for the actual days of the fair, and they come from the Watercolor Society, the NIA, and the NIPS, which is the Northern Indiana Pastel Society. Lots of our local artists, they come out and they do the booth sitting for us, and they help out when our artists need something. And that's why we get lots of great feedback from the artists who come to our fair, because we're kind of still have that homegrown feel, and we really take care of the people who are coming long distance to show their art. So we have lots of volunteers who come those 2 days. I could always use more. I can always use more.
Does everybody hear that? Okay.
Yeah, I could always use more. But we do, the ones that do come, we have a great time, lots of hanging out too. And our member booth, the Watercolor Society has a members booth that if you don't want your whole booth, you can just put a few pieces in there. And so we also have volunteers who man that as well. And I know that they love having people come up and talk to them and reminisce of years past throughout the weekend as well.
Hetty, we know it takes a lot of volunteers, but it also must take a lot of sponsors. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Of course. Some of our main sponsors are, of course, St. Joe Valley Watercolor Society. They really do a lot of help with the volunteerism and the sponsorship. We also want to give a special thank you to Panoply. They are a print and online artist magazine, as well as the Venue Parks and Arts. They are a joy to work with, and we really appreciate them every year and the support that they give us through the county. And Martin Supermarkets, they provide such a lovely spread for our artists when they come in when we receive them on Friday and Saturday morning. So thank you to everybody who helps out.
Oh, that is wonderful. Now, again, this is taking place on June 15th and 16th. That's Saturday and Sunday. And what are the hours on Saturday, Hetty?
10 to
6.
5, 6?
10 to 6 Saturday.
I'm there all day, so it's kind of, I forget that. But yeah, 10,
no, that's right. You're there all day. So
all
how can you remember, right?
Yes.
So it's Saturday 10 to 6,
yes.
And then Sunday it's 10 to 5. And rain or shine, everybody's going to be out there and having a great time. And what about parking? Because I know sometimes there's, parking can be a little tricky in that area.
Yeah, so we keep the street parking right at the entrance of the park for handicap parking. Your best bet and the most efficient means of travel to the art fair is to park at the Century Center and take the shuttle in, because it drops you right off at the front of the park, and then you probably see me at the information tent. But that's the best way to come in and go out, and that way you don't have to worry about parking, and you know that your car is safe and sound somewhere with plenty of space.
Right. Well, Hetty, thank you so much for being with us. It's a beautiful day behind you, so let's all hope and pray that it's going to be a beautiful day as well on the 15th and the 16th. Thanks so much for being with us today, and thank you so much for bringing this event to the community.
I thank you all for coming.